Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock market's opening action to help you understand what is the trend looking like, where are the gains and losses, and what really happens to your market investments in today's trading session, and which way are the markets going to be moving ahead as we pan along as well. So let's get started with the opening action first. Of course, before the opening, we got positive cues from across the globe, be it the overnight cues from US markets, some of them ending over 2% higher too. Also, when you talk about Asian markets, they opened higher with the less than expected shrinkage in the Japanese, GDP growth as well. So that fueling some kind of positive sentiments in the Asian markets as well, and the reopening up of Chinese markets too after COVID. All of those are definitely fueling the kind of positive sentiments into the stock markets. When you talk about the Indian markets, of course, we opened higher. The Nifty managed to open higher above 16,300. Right now, it is hovering near 16,350 as well. Talk about the Sensex, 0.5% higher is what it opened before the weekly FNO expiry. It jumped to 54,577 right at the opening levels too. Now, in terms of some specific stocks, you do have 25 stocks of the 30 stocks in the Sensex in the positive terrain, with Bharti Airtel, Bajaj Finance, M&M, Tech Mahindra, Reliance Industries as the top gainers contributing to the market upside. On the flip side, again, the power draggers, including Power Grid, NTPC, Tata Steel, Nestle, these were in the red as well. The Nifty Bank Index moved higher by almost 0.6% in trade today. Now, when you talk about all the other sectors of the markets, well, in fact, all the sectors are in the green, barring metals and realty. So metals are coming under the profit booking sphere. Remember, yesterday the metal index shot up very sharply, over 7% up in yesterday's trading session. So mild profit booking coming in at 0.72% on the downside. The realty index also slipping away 0.2% right in the early action as well. So what's really performing better today? It's the IT stocks 1.5% up. It's the pharma stocks that are over 1% up as well, and almost 1% gains in the banks, in also in the private banks, especially in today's trading session. 0.5% gains coming in for the auto pack as well. So those are some of the gains coming in. On the Nifty pack, you do have 39 advances versus 9 declines. So the market breadth clearly favoring the advances at this point in time. On the Nifty, you also have Tech Mahindra, Axis Bank, IndusInd Bank, Wipro performing well and over 1% up in today's trading session too. So that's as well. That's as far as the opening action is concerned. Talk about the mid and the small caps as well. 0.5% higher, 0.7% uptick for the mid cap and the small cap indices today. The India VIX has slipped almost 1.13% and is hovering near 22.4 levels as well. So the index is cooling off, and you are seeing some positive bounce back that was seen the third day running. We are seeing some green on the screen too. Of course, a whole lot of focus will be on individual stocks today. You do have Bharti Airtel that is in focus right after the earnings, good earnings coming there, and the stock has been rising almost 2.5% up in trade right in the early action. Reliance Industries continuing its winning streak of almost 0.5% in trade. Then, of course, apart from this, you do have some of the other names also in focus today. You do have some of the other news points also, like ITC, TVS Motor Company, DLF, Indigo, BPCL, Tata Consumer Products. All of these stocks are in focus in today's trading session too, because of the news flows and the earnings reaction as well coming in for all of these individual stocks too. Of course, there's a whole lot of action in the primary market space. You do have now the second IPO opening after Paradeep Phosphates opened yesterday. You do have Ethos IPO opening today. So the things that you should know before applying for this IPO, the IPO will open. I mean, it's opening today and will be open for subscription until May 20th. The price band for the stock is a little on the higher side, 836 to 878 rupees per share, with a face value of 10 rupees. The floor price is 83 times the face value, and the cap price is 87 times of the face value of the shares. Now, the offer details include that the company wants to raise 472 crore rupees via this fresh issue of shares, aggregating to 375 crore rupees, and an OFS of over 11 lakh shares as well, aggregating to 97.29 crores by the shareholders and promoters who will be exiting via the OFS too. Now, the company wants to utilize the net proceeds from the fresh issue to prepay or repay part of the existing loans availed by the company, to an extent of almost 30 crore rupees. Also, some of it will be used for working capital requirements, opening new stores, renovating the new existing ones as well. So all of this will be used to improve the company's work functionalities. Remember, Ethos is the luxury watch kind of retailer. At this point in time, you are seeing several Ethos watches boutique stores open in several malls these days. Now, investors need to remember that the minimum lot size for Ethos is 17 shares and then in multiples thereof. So, a retail investor looking to invest for one lot will need to shell out 14,926 rupees at the upper end of the price band for 17 shares. And if you want to shell out the maximum, then you can buy up to 13 lots or 221 shares, which will come up to 1.94 lakh rupees for you. Now, definitely, you all remember that this company is all into the watches space and the luxury watches space. In terms of financials, the company reported revenues of 386 crore rupees versus 457 crore rupees a year ago. So the revenues are slipping away because of the kind of issues that you've seen with the pandemic and the malls closing. So some of those issues are definitely creeping in. But at this point in time, this is another IPO that you should definitely keep an eye out on. Overall speaking, the markets will definitely be wondering as to what will be the commentary that we will get from across the globe when it comes to interest rates and the oil movement as well. So oil prices are climbing on the hopes of China demand recovery, and thereby you are also seeing the metal prices rising. The US Fed has constantly been keeping its viewpoint that it will continue to hike the rates until it controls inflation as well. So that's another point that you should remember. As of today, there'll be a whole host of important earnings to watch out for. ITC, Aditya Birla Fashion, Arvind Retail, Barbecue Nations, Brookfield India Real Estate Trust or REIT, Finolex Industries, GIC Housing Finance, GMR Infra, Indraprastha Gas, Interglobe Aviation, the operator of Indigo Airlines, LIC Housing Finance, Lupin, NDTV, Pidilite Industries, Manappuram Finance, Lakshmi Cement, Root Mobile, Shyam Metallics, Sriram Asset Management, Westlife Developments, all of them will be in focus as they will be definitely coming out with its earnings. So focus on the global macro data coming in, commentary on inflation and interest rates, focus on crude oil, focus on domestic earnings, all of that, as well as stock specific moves. That will be defining the market trend as we move along today. Thanks a lot for tuning in for now.